Yeah.
Well, bartending, whatever.
Yeah, bartending, yeah. So
Not
without further...
a full pay-time job. Yeah, without further ado, go ahead.
We are on Star Runner. Hopefully the overlay has been removed and everything is good and ready to go. And in the bottom left corner, in the blue trunks, we have Acer's INnoVations, currently down 0-2, and he needs to make something happen now to turn this series around.
And at the bottom right, we have Axiom Acer, our red Terran, who, to the surprise of everyone, has actually been killing everyone. Total Biscuit didn't count on him making it through and beating the entire tournament, and possibly just taking the entire tournament. We didn't count on him beating, what's his name, Crank or Impact, and yet he has done so. So,
yeah, beating them
Ryung's
both
play.
narrowly.
So impressive.
Yes, he's looking to take this. So it's going to be very interesting to see what strategies they will go for there. They kind of both been going for the very early command center, which has been a little bit different. I've seen a lot of very aggressive Terran players, and now they're both actually going for the barracks first, and I'll be very excited to see if they're going to add a quick gas or not, and try and both be a little bit more aggressive. And there we go, Ryung first with the gas.
Yeah, so one base factory play. We'll see if he goes straight into vultures. I know he does like the vultures.
I was going to say it could be one base bio, but I don't think so. Well, it could open for Reapers at least. That is an interesting choice that can be done.
Well, it
but
doesn't
Reapers
strike me as something that either INnoVation or Ryung would do.
Yeah, that's true.
Where they're less experienced with the new STARBOW units, and I mean, it's just, especially with the SC2 units, they're so different from their SC2 counterparts, where everything that's Brood War feels relatively Brood War. So that's just the best fallback and the best way to just make sure, hey, I want to win money, I'm going to use my years of Brood War professional experience and make a victory in that way.
I was really hoping some of the more STARBOW focused players would make it higher up, so we could see some of the more STARBOW play. But you know, yeah, we had Crank, that's true, and Crank almost made it. And he almost won that game on Destination, where you unfortunately dropped out as well, and he could have been able to take that series versus INnoVation. So we have seen, also, you know, in the group play, we did see a lot of STARBOW specific stuff, and I see that some doodads needs to be fixed on this map as well.
just goes to show you how much higher of a level these Koreans are playing at. They're playing a game they're not familiar with. They're not even using overcharge. They're not using all the new units or the new mechanics. Yet they're able to just destroy their opponents who have a lot more ladder game, who've been laddering and just will go what, like BCQT's score on the ladder was 2 losses.
Like
how many wins?
2 losses, 49 wins or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
in the past few days.
When RSVP started laddering, he was like 40-0 for a long time, and then he like finally lost a couple of games. And now he's like 118 wins and maybe like 20 losses or something. It's incredible. Like some of the best players on the ladder. Good luck on that. And every time you start the ladder, you start like down on bronze and you slowly work your way up. So if you meet like a high silver player, you should be very scared.
Oh, is there WCS going on?
No. Oh yeah. There's a WCS going on right now, I think.
Yeah, whatever.
So
if you want to watch STARBOW, you'll probably watch this. If you want to watch WCS, you'll watch that.
Yeah, well, you don't want to watch WCS. This is STARBOW. You can watch WCS almost every other day. How often can you see, you know, INnoVation and Ryung duke it out in STARBOW?
Yeah, true. Alright, Speed
point.
Vultures are going to be out and about. And INnoVation takes... they both are getting their expansion out. Ooh, is he going to be pushing up with Marines? Yeah, 2 Marines with those Vultures.
Both kind of going for, well, he's going for tank instead of vultures, but it's very similar. Much more safer opening this time than the last couple of games. I guess they were both expecting some shenanigans from their opponents for some reason. I think Ryung just wanted to stay safe, keep his lead, and INnoVation also wanted to make sure he doesn't lose one more game to something crazy. Got a very early starport from both of them, so this looks probably going to be quite similar to the first game we saw, except that their openings are just a lot more safer.
They both don't have too much information on what each other is doing. Ryung has the read on his opponent going mech. INnoVation has absolutely no knowledge whatsoever of his opponent, minus the fact that he's got an expansion, so no idea what to expect.
At least they know about the call on SCV. Ryung I think Ryung uses overcharge a little bit more than INnoVation does. INnoVation still doesn't have orbital commands.
Oh,
and
baby Cepheus.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard the baby Cepheus in the background there. She was just being happy and not crying, I promise.
There's no torture going on. There's no child abuse.
Well, she does cry a lot. She is a baby, but well, that's what babies do.
Alright, I've got a cat, you got a baby. What's she gonna do, Stream?
Wow.
What's she gonna do? Oh, Ryung's going in. Oh, he needs to get the SCVs, not toy with the tanks. Come on. Ryung, get out of there. Alright, he's, doesn't get that much done.
He got like one SCV and he lost one vulture, so, I guess that's okay.
What's really nice about if you're doing this sort of drop play is that this drop play will actually just let you see what your opponent's doing. It'll give you some reads you usually wouldn't, just by the fact that you're doing this aggressive play and are inside their base. So there's always that side benefit of doing this sort of vulture harass, even if you're not necessarily doing damage.
What are you talking about? Terrans have scan, they can always see what their opponent is doing.
Yeah, then you can drop an SCV
I'm just
instead.
kidding. I'm just kidding. But it feels so imba sometimes with the scan. But I'm not gonna go down there on the bounce.
You Zergy. Oh, he scouted my spire. What will I do?
It's actually, you know, it is actually quite interesting though with how the scans work in TvT, because it gives you so much vision of your opponent all the time. So all your choices are much more thought out and careful, and that's one of the reasons I feel that TvT is more like a chess game, because you always see what your opponent is doing and you have to make correct choices based off of that.
This is so annoying. He's got a tank up at the high ground and 2 Gauls versus 2 Gauls and 2 Marines, and he'll have the high ground advantage if he fights.
And INnoVation does have the better position here, because it's much easier for him to drop on that high ground than it is for Ryung to drop on INnoVation's high ground, due to the geometry of this map.
Yeah, harassing the natural. So fun. At that spot. So annoying to deal with. Like, they'll put Dragoons on there. Can be really annoying.
Yeah, lurkers, or anything. Ryung is actually wanting to keep a lot of anti-air units there, just to make sure that doesn't happen, but that will leave his main vulnerable, and INnoVation looking to maybe drop the main, no?
Well, Ryung has a read on that. He already knows his opponent's doing something with those dropships.
Going for the low ground, but there is a high ground advantage in STARBOW. I don't know how smart this is. These siege tanks might miss their targets with a 50% chance. And
but INnoVation's tank has enough range, and the Goliaths don't have enough range to actually hit that tank. So that went better for him than it could have.
Well, he skedaddled out of there anyway because he knew siege tanks would be coming, so I think that was a good choice. INnoVation now landing his 3rd base, and Ryung does not really have... Yes, he does. He has his 3rd base on the way. Making me look bad.
Go block it! Oh, never mind, there's Goliaths.
Oh, I don't think he knows about the... Oh yeah, he knows about the vultures, but he doesn't care. There we go. Now he cares as well.
Vultures, whatever. Gets vultures for free. That's always a nice pickup.
Goliaths don't care about vultures unless they walk into spider mines.
And so INnoVation plants himself a little bit in the lead. He's got his 3rd. He's got workers there transferred. And do we have a 3rd up from the Ryung? Sorry.
Ryung, it's on the way.
I read the Y. Ryung.
This is a lot easier for me because in Norwegian the Y is pronounced differently.
Yeah,
it's pronounced E, Ryung, so it's very much easier for me to say it that way.
Bastard.
Yeah. It's actually in most languages I think the Y is pronounced that way. I think just English be derping around there, but I might be wrong.
We rye.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into language here. Okay, anyway, so it seems that Ryung will be taking the 3rd base that is very close to his opponent's main. That might be a very tight, contended area between the main of INnoVation and the 3rd base of Ryung there. With missile turrets on each side, Vikings over there, this is going to be a very interesting position due to how they were placed in this map. INnoVation, a lot easier for him to expand away from his opponent, while Ryung almost is forced to expand at least somewhat towards his opponent, so forcing a very interesting TvT. Unfortunately, I don't play Terran much, so it was not very fortunate that it was a TvT finals for me, because that's not my most knowledgeable area, but we'll just have to do the best with what we have.
At the present time, I wouldn't define knowledge of TvT as like knowledge unless you're like BC Cutie.
Okay.
It's really hard to tell because everybody plays it differently, so there's no established meta for it.
if you have, oh, as you can hear, our youngest had learned to say "mommy" now, so she says it very loudly.
Ryung is finally taking his third. That's so much later than his opponent.
Taking forever to get there, and nothing's happened yet. Really, INnoVation's been trying to. Well, things have happened, not just not lately. I mean, INnoVation's been trying to find places to drop, but hasn't really been finding any openings. Now it's going to be even more difficult with Ryung taking this third base, and these spider mines for Ryung is actually proving nice, giving him some nice vision on the map. Ooh, sending a group of vultures over to that one base he scanned. No, he didn't. He's just smart, or he's stream sniping. But we haven't even mentioned it on stream.
Both players are being really careful. They do not want to lose this game. Turret ring for INnoVation. Turret ring for Ryung.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Alright, and we do have dropships. Both players are just frantically scanning each other constantly to keep track of each other. Dropship fleet is scanned. Drop fleet scanned. Drop fleet scanned. So they should both have tabs, and even a Viking out to spot. So just nothing is going to get by Ryung. And at the 12, taking a... Man, it's an interesting position. He wants to split the map like this. I guess we could afford it, but... Strikes me as more vulnerable. This would be the first spot INnoVation's going to see. Sorry, I'm tired. I've been casting since 6 AM. And it's 1 PM. Alright. I'll get my stuff together. Goliath's tank force. Where INnoVation, his army is really different in the way that he has a lot more focus on dropships. Okay. They have an identical army. 17 Goliaths. Ooh, okay. A pretty big lead on tanks for INnoVation. So he does have that. Where Ryung favors his dropships, I mean his vultures, and he's been planting mines everywhere, but he did lose all his vultures. So he's a little bit behind in the tank count, but in TVT it's all about how you use the tanks, not how many you have. Oh my god, they're so... They do not want to lose their army, they don't want to lose. They're so afraid to actually push.
What did I miss?
Both players posturing a lot.
Turning stale, huh?
Yeah, they're really afraid to actually make something because they don't want to like make a mistake and give it to their opponent.
But Ryung's sneaking in that hidden expansion. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so he does have that going for him.
Ooh, he's gonna go for it. INnoVation's gonna go for it. He sees there's very little defenses here on the third base.
He finally takes a spot, and his opponent... it's not the most ideal spot.
Is his opponent going to defend with the drops, or just counterattack in the main base? And he is going for the counterattack in the main base. So many missile turrets there, though. So difficult to find an opening.
Oh, that turret ring. So the 9, 6, whatever. I'm getting tired. I'm sorry.
Just say north or east and west or
More
something.
coffee.
Okay, here we go. Oh, but
whoa, counter drop.
Ryung should just. Okay, so Ryung just heading out of there. I think
INnoVation's
got this now.
Yeah.
He's ahead in supply. He's ahead in economy. He's got a great position. I don't know if what Ryung can do from this point. Maybe make some battle cruisers, but that's about it. He's got one guy in gas on his hidden expansion. He could drop down some SCVs, I guess. No, he couldn't. He's been using scans. I guess they don't use overcharge because they actually are able to just use so many scans. But yeah, there we have it. Ryung, INnoVation taking a game off of Ryung, clawing his way back into a potential comeback.